it's Jeannie Blaha. Take a walk with your angels and joyflames.com. I really wanted to touch on this because isn't everything perception? I mean, as far as that goes, when we think, God, that person just said such a disempowering thing to somebody, or that was really empowering, and we can still bring it back to the perception of that commentary that was overheard, right? So I wanted to ask this question: what is the most disempowering statement that's ever been made to you? What's the most empowering statement? In this video, I'm just going to cover the empowering statement because I have one that occurred many years ago that many of you might think, man, that's super disempowering. However, here's the funny thing about those disempowering comments is sometimes they're actually the fuel for where you decide to keep yourself really powered up. So in my case, it was a high school counselor who had been calling me into his office pretty regularly, right about a year before graduation, and asking me about colleges and where I was submitting my applications and whatnot. And after, I think, the third or fourth visit, I said, I'm actually not planning to go to college right after high school. And so I appreciate your assistance, but it's not going to be for me. And he went red in the face. He got steamy and said, what do you ever expect to become? What do you ever expect to amount to? And I was astounded and shocked because you know how you have those moments where 1,000 thoughts go shooting through? And I thought, oh my gosh, this gentleman is clearly near 60 years old, and he believes that the degree is what is going to make or break me. And given my line of work, there was nothing now that many years ago regards to any kind of schooling or education or degree or certification even in what I do. So I knew at age 17 that nothing existed at the time that I could study and take tests for and graduate in regarding this. So I smiled and I stood up and I said, well, what I'm going to be is very happy. And I left. And I actually never talked to him again after that. Now, I get it. It was his job. It was his responsibility as in the position that he was in. I was carrying a 3.97 average, whatever. And I was doing well. And so he thought I would be going to these schools that he had his eye on. And I'm not sure if it was he considered a reflection back on him or something to that effect. I didn't really ask him about that. I just felt really sad for him because I thought, wow, if he thinks that the degree is going to be what decides where a person can go with their life, that's pretty limiting. That's a pretty limiting thought. And with that thought, which you could consider, wow, that was disempowering, I actually took it as a torch he handed to me that said, you know what? In order for me to be really happy and to be successful, I'm going to have to do my own thing because it doesn't exist at the time. Nothing was existing of this nature. And maybe not, maybe it was just in the US, maybe other places had it. But it was clearly not offered anywhere around me. And so I felt for him because I thought, well, I can see that he has had a very confined view of what success means. And I started meeting people right and left who had actually had their degrees, but they told me they were going to be paying student loans for 30 years and that they weren't even in the career that they had graduated for. So I was really thinking, wow, this is a very interesting aspect of all things. So if you're going to school right now and you're feeling that whatever it is just not it for you, maybe you went into it because you were told you should do it that way. Maybe you have some programming in there that got in early on that said that you weren't going to amount to anything unless you did it that way. Consider that if it's not joy for you, if it's not happiness for you, that there's something else. There will be something else, even if it doesn't exist today. Keep your eye and your whole being on the things that really derive joy for you and peace, and keep moving towards that. Because who's to say you're in high school right now, who's to say 20 years from now you're not going to be teaching what doesn't exist right now? So, all the power to the people that are considering that that's the way that it is for them and that's what they really enjoy doing. Some people love going to university. They love it. They're excited about it. They stay in it for a long time. And that's okay too. But if it is not for you and you're finding that your frequency is tanking a lot or that you're ill a lot, because frequent illness is a good sign that you're not in your happiest path. You're not in your most joy-filled, powered-up path. Maybe it's that you're just considering not even wanting to be on the Earth planet. That's a good sign that you're following a path that's just not for you. All right. Hope this helps. Take a walk with your angels. And Jeannie Blaha out of Colorado here with you, standing and loving on you from here. All right. Take care.